Did you know that you don't need followers to get views anymore? Buckle up and make sure you watch to the end because this video is about to change the way you create content forever. Ask yourself right now, how would millions of views on your content change your business or even your life? How about billions of views? I know the devastating feeling of posting content that flops like a dead fish, and I understand how exhausting it is to burn out from pushing too hard for too long on the same useless content strategies. You cook up another video idea and you just know this is going to be the one that goes viral, but you forgot to season it properly, or maybe you just didn't know how. So now the video's potential has been shattered and the content feast your audience could have enjoyed has been spoiled to the point of being completely unconsumable. Another attempt in the trash. That was me before my content hit billions of views and gained me nearly 20 million followers. If you make content and are watching this, there's a good chance you ended up here because you don't have enough of the following. Time. Creating quickly becomes extremely time consuming if you don't know what you're doing. Money, because if you're not getting millions of views, you're probably not getting monetized or fairly compensated for your hard work. Flexibility, because if you're already out of time and don't have money to hire other people to scale, then your schedule is probably packed full. That means the little free time you have is probably spent trying to throw together a video last minute that will hopefully not flop. And this is exactly why I built the viral blueprint, to get your views to skyrocket quickly so you can start monetizing. And because I know how valuable your time is, I've streamlined this program so you can get through it quickly and start seeing results right away. My goal is for my students to start being featured and recognized on the For You pages as the top creators in their niche. And in case you're like me and like to get as much information as possible before you commit to something, I've included a free copy of the viral formula and a sample training below this video so you can start getting more views right now. Real quick, I want to also acknowledge that I know a lot of creators are freaking out right now. I get there's fears about AI and oversaturation of content and constant algorithm changes. But I also want to share that there are a lot of creators who are not freaking out because they know how to work with the algorithm and they have a clear plan. There's always going to be things outside of our control, but the people who focus on what they do have power over know that their content will withstand the changes that arise over time. Focusing on things like building a solid system and making sure the content they send the algorithm feeds it a clear message so it knows what kind of viewers to bring it. Whenever I hear someone say, "Oh my gosh, it's so hard to get engagement right now," I think, really? How come if I pull out my phone right now and scroll the For You feed of any social app, I'll see literally endless videos with millions upon millions of views? Seems like those creators are getting engagement. This past month, I've got millions of views on every platform I post on consistently, and even platforms like Instagram and Facebook that I barely post on. Right now, as you're watching this, somebody somewhere is about to post a video that will go viral by the end of today. There is not a problem with the system we're in. In fact, the current system that we're in is actually the type of system that's really beneficial for you because it's willing to push out anybody's content even if they don't have followers. This type of algorithm wasn't available 6 years ago. Before I built out this program, I interviewed a handful of creators to make sure I understood exactly what creators need most right now. And I even met with some that had taken other courses before because I wanted to make sure this was the best resource available, packed with the most relevant strategies. During these interviews, one thing I heard a lot about was that creators constantly are bombarded with the same generic advice. Make your content more watchable and have a good hook. The same regurgitated advice that you can get for free on YouTube. But they all said no one ever told them how to actually accomplish that in a practical way. They craved access to applicable steps they could follow starting from scratch. They wanted a process that was laid out clearly so that anyone could follow it even if it was their first day creating a hook. That's why I made sure this was a hands-on program that can take you from wherever you're at in your creative journey, whether you've made content before or are just starting out, and launches you to becoming a leader and a master creator in your field. I also wanted to make sure this was accessible to all creators, which is why I also offer an easy payment option for those who have a tight budget but want to get started right away. And my favorite thing about this is that to get access to the viral blueprint and this mind-blowing training, you're not having to spend 4 years and $80,000 on a marketing degree. I remember in my early 20s wanting desperately to attend the Art Institute, believing it was the only way I'd ever make a living as a video creator. But when I went to meet with the advisors at the Art Institute in Salt Lake City, they told me it would cost me $80,000 to attend. My jaw dropped and I was shocked. That's an insane amount of time and money to commit, especially as a young 20-year-old who needs to figure out how to get a job that will accommodate them working while also going to school. That's why I'm so happy that I've made the viral blueprint something you can apply quickly and complete entirely within a week or two. Some ambitious creators will even finish the course in a single day and get their content blowing up as quickly as possible. And the other tough thing about those 4-year marketing and filmmaking degrees is that there's also so much filler in there. Stuff that doesn't necessarily apply to the craft. That's why I've always loved online courses, because they make sure the juiciest, most important bits of information are plucked out so you get only what you need so you can get started right away. With the viral blueprint course, I made sure it had only the gold nuggets of information that you can get through in under 8 hours. I don't want you to waste any time mastering the art of leveling up your content and going viral consistently. And instead of paying $80,000 for it, you can get in now for less than 1% of that and with arguably more value than some of those degrees. I feel so confident saying that because I know this process works. I'm offering this at such a competitive price to give as many students as possible the opportunity to benefit from this, but believe me, if this was around when I quit my job in 2020, I would have paid thousands of dollars for these viral hacks. Everyone's journey to creating content is unique, and for me it started when I was a little kid. I always loved reading books and making homemade homemade videos on our family camcorder, and I dreamed of being able to do it for a living one day. I remember begging my parents to let me audition for Harry Potter when I was 8 years old because I wanted to immerse myself into the magical world of filmmaking. But after making a terrible audition tape that I'm pretty sure my parents didn't even send in, and getting shut down at an open casting call for a Gatorade commercial, I didn't think being on camera in any capacity would ever earn me a living. Even as an adult, when I shared my dream of making videos, coworkers and friends would give me funny looks, almost casually implying they didn't really think I had the personality to be a YouTuber or an online influencer. I often heard it said that there was no money to be made for the average actor or filmmaker and that I'd be better off getting a real job. So that's what I did. At 19, I found myself working door-to-door sales for 3 years because running vacuum demo presentations felt like the closest thing I could find to some type of performing in front of an audience while still making a stable income. But the door-to-door days were extremely long, sometimes over 14 hours. And while it helped me develop a resilient work ethic that I still apply today, my extreme ADHD eventually led me spiraling into drug addiction that left me broke and jobless. So in 2012, I moved to Utah where I got cleaned up and established a career in the financial services industry. As I progressed from Wells Fargo to E-Trade to Fidelity Investments, financially I was set for life. But after working nearly 8 years, the desire to make videos still burned strong within me and was always nagging me in the back of my mind. The urge to create was so strong, in fact, that I was literally getting home from work every day and making videos with anyone who would make them with me. Even around the holidays, I was begging my family to make videos. My passion for short-form videos ended up earning me my first few million views on Vine, but my 9-to-5 job was consuming so much of my energy. So in 2020, I decided I couldn't take it anymore and I was gonna do whatever it takes to not just make a living creating content full-time, but to also make more money than I made in my finance career. I had a serious sit down with myself and committed that I was gonna earn 100,000 followers on YouTube and TikTok and earn even more money than I was making at Fidelity. And that's when I broke the news to my family that I was leaving my stable career so I could pour my soul into being a full-time content creator. At this point, I had barely any followers online and didn't even have a niche to create in. I knew I had a lot on the line, so I studied the algorithms obsessively and began to identify what viral videos had in common. And I quickly began to pick up on a lot of similarities and patterns that I knew I'd be able to duplicate in my own content. Up till this point, I noticed I always had enough ideas, but throwing stuff against the wall wasn't getting me enough views to make me a living. So I knew it was time to start being more intentional. So I took everything I learned from getting millions of views on Vine and everything I was learning from studying these new algorithms, compared that with the hundreds of videos I'd created throughout my 20s, and I developed a viral formula. And then I spent 5 years perfecting this process. Like I said, I can send you a free copy of it below this video, and you'll find that it's essentially 5 crucial elements that every video you film needs to include before hitting publish. Once I began to apply this formula that I call the shape method, my content basically blew up overnight. People say content growth doesn't happen overnight, but for me it kinda did. I started hitting millions of views consistently on literally hundreds of videos over and over again, and this has continued for years, even to this day. Not only was I starting to earn thousands of dollars a week in ad revenue and getting brand deals, but I was also saving time because I had stopped burning out from posting every day. There was a time when I was experimenting and posting random videos, but a lot of them flopped because I was burning out and I was also sending the algorithm really confusing messages. So eventually I stopped doing that, and instead I took the time to develop viral hooks, anticipation arcs, and rewarding payoffs in every video. When you're hitting a million, especially 5, 10, 20, or 100 million views on every video, you don't need to post every day. In fact, you can get by posting just a few videos a week or even a month. This is why you'll notice top creators like Mr. Beast don't post every day. Instead, they put their energy into quality ideas over a quantity of half-assed content. And that's just one of the ways the viral blueprint will save you time. It shows you exactly what to include in every single video before you hit publish to ensure you've maximized the possibility for virality. By doing that, you gain more views faster while doing less work because you're not having to publish as often. Let's see who gets the math on this right away. Creator A posts one video every day for a month that gets 5,000 views each. Creator B posts a video every other day that gets 10,000 views each. And Creator C posts once a week and gets 75,000 views each. Which one sounds like the most work to you? Now, if you're posting 4 videos a month or once a week, you're allowing yourself so much more time and energy to put into each of them. And that's why I didn't hit billions of views until I stopped posting every day. This is great news because for some of you, it means taking this course is gonna actually save you time while you're earning more money and getting more views. Now here's the math on those scenarios. Person A is averaging 150,000 views a month. It's not bad. 5,000 views a day times 30 days is 150,000 views. It's a lot of work, but they're getting a lot of views, so overall I'd still applaud that. Person 2, on the other hand, is posting every other day, so they have a little bit more time to refine their creative process and give themselves more time to brainstorm stronger ideas, but believe it or not, they are posting less often and getting the same amount of views as person A. I know it's not complicated math. 10,000 views every other day or 15 days in a month is also 150,000 views. I don't know about you, but I'd already rather be person B than A, who's doing half the work and getting the same result. Also, when someone like a brand looks at person B's account, each of the videos on their page has double the engagement compared to person A, which is obviously going to work in their favor long term and get them more partnerships. This honestly blows my mind because some creators are so brainwashed into the belief that they have to post content every day and that's the only way they'll go viral. Personally, Personally, I don't think there's ever a reason to post every day, but I get that some people do it if they've leveled up to the point where they can just post anything and they have such a huge following that it will take off. If you know your niche super well and you've built up a big following and it's fairly easy for you to post every day, then sure, go ahead, it makes sense at that point. If you have a following that wants to watch you that often, go for it. Now, person C only posts once a week. That means they give themselves a whole week to make sure they've written a script that follows all the crucial steps of a viral formula, to sleep on the ideas they brainstormed, and are always only posting their best ideas every week. Not just a random thought or idea they woke up with that day. They have a curated list of strong ideas that's constantly evolving that they can rotate through. So creator C at one video a week is getting 300,000 views, the total of person A and B combined, and they're only posting a fraction of the amount. For more tips, check out viralblueprint.com.